Hello everyone, welcome back to another video in the Java Made Simple tutorial series. In this video, we are going to be talking about the Hello World program. Hello World program is a program that you traditionally write as an entry program to a programming language. So whenever you start to learn a new programming language, usually the first thing you do is write a Hello World program. So let's take a look at how it looks like in Java. This, what you see on the screen, is a Hello World program written in Java code. We have a couple of things here that we are interested in. For example, we have this public class main. This represents our class, and the class name is main, and it's named like that because, we gave it that name. You can name your classes however you want, so that does not depend on anything else. It's up to you. You can name it whatever you want. Only thing you have to take care of is that the name of the class has to match the name of the file it is in. So currently you can see that the class name is main, and here on the left side you can see that the file name is also main. It's main.java. You can see it here in this tab. Okay, and let's see what else do we have. We have this public static void main, and we have some arguments here. What we have here is called a main method. A main method is a special method in Java, and it has a special formatting and special meaning. So for now, just think of it as some kind of special method. We are going to be discussing methods later on. So for now, just ignore it and see that it's here and it looks like this. And inside of this method, we have this line of code here. This is called a statement. A statement is basically a line of code that executes some basic action. And usually the statements in Java end with a semicolon. That's really important. One more thing to take care of is that Java is a case-sensitive language, meaning that things written in lowercase and uppercase do not mean the same. So for example, here in our statement, the system has to start with an uppercase S, otherwise the compiler would be angry at us. Okay, you may be thinking now what the compiler is. That's something that we are not going to be discussing really in this tutorial series. So it's something, think of it as some kind of translation thing in the background that translates the code that you write into something called machine code or a low-level code, and then later does some things with it, interprets it, and outputs some fancy stuff. So don't worry about it. Just think about it. It's somewhere in the background and it will do something about your code. And if you do something bad in your code, it will be mad at you. Okay, so let's take a look at what happens when we run this program. How do we do that? You can see here these play buttons, or however you want to call them. You have one here, this would run this class, and you have this one which would run the main method. It's basically the same for you, and you also have one here, so whichever of these you click, it will be exactly the same. So let's click one of them, doesn't matter which one, and you can see that something appeared here. So this run tab in IntelliJ has opened, and here you can see some line where it does a lot of things, and basically all it does is executes this program that we have, so don't worry about that. And here you can see hello world. So this is something that we written here, and it has been now printed to the console. So we have actually made a hello world program, and it works perfect. So let's take a look at our print statement. We have hello world. How would we now say, maybe I would like to print another line? What do you need to do to print an additional line of code here? How would we do that? We can, of course, do something like this. We can go to a next line and say system.out.print. So you can see that we have print and we have print ln. This is what I opened. In IntelliJ, by default, you can open by pressing the Control and space, and then IntelliJ will offer you a list of methods that you can call. Here, for example, you have this print and you have print line. Let's go with the print line, same as we have here. And you can see that we print everything inside of the quotation marks. So this print line takes something called a string. We're going to be touching the types of in Java later on. So just think of everything inside of these quotation marks as string. So let's write something. Hello world 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Now let's execute our program again. And once we do that, you can see that we have printed something in the next line. Perfect. Let's say that we want to now use a different method. We don't want this print line, we want the print. What the print one will do is it will print everything in one line. So if I write here 987 and then a minus, and then I create a new line, I duplicated this one by pressing Ctrl D. So this will just duplicate the line where your cursor is. And I write here something like 56 or 543. And if I run my program now, you can see that this here, so this part here, was printed in the same line. So the print will not break the line and print it in the next one. It will just print it as we would have written it here. So just think about it, that this prints everything in the same line and this one will break the line. You may be thinking now, okay, but what if I want to use this one and break the line? We can use something like this. Basically what this means is whenever the Java is doing its thing in the background and comes into this character, it will say, yeah, I would like to break the line now, please. So if we run our program again, we should see hello printed in one line and world printed in the next line. And of course, this one, since we're using the println here, will be printed in another one. Okay, perfect. And what if we wanted to do something like print out the quotation marks? Because here these quotation marks are not printed. And for example, we would like to print something like this. So we want the world inside of the quotation mark. You can see that here that the IntelliJ is complaining because it thinks now we are passing in some kind of argument here, but we don't want to do that. We want to print these quotation marks. So how we do that is we escape them. So adding a slash before a quotation marks means that we are escaping that quotation mark, and Java should not think of it as a quotation mark to actually do something with it, to end this string in this case, but it should just print it. So if we now run our program, we should have printed the quotation marks. Perfect. And if we duplicate this line and move it a bit down, and we remove this, and we say, okay, yeah, but we want to print it with the single quotes, we do not have to escape them. So the quotation marks are special and we have to escape them, and the single ones you do not have to, and you can just print them out. And you can see that this works without any problems. Perfect. So just think of the double quotation marks as something that will represent a string. In the next video, we are going to be talking about strings, and we're going to be talking about types in Java. So don't worry about that now. For now, just try to make this program and try to print it something that you want. Hello world or whatever. Just play with it, print a few lines, and hopefully in the next video, we are going to do some fancy stuff with Java types, and then we are going to print some even more stuff. So it's going to be exciting. Stick with me and do let me know in the comments if you are having some issues with something. So if something is unclear, or if I have missed something, or if I'm doing something wrong, am I too fast, too slow, whatever, just complain, say hi, whatever you want. And yeah, I would always try to answer you as fast as possible. Okay, so that would be everything for this video. Hopefully you were able to catch up on everything, and yeah, I will see you in the next one.